Well, boys and girls, let's do some set and forget and hopefully make some money.
Matron, take them away.
And a warm welcome to one and all. If it's your first time here, I'm the big fella Scruff. And sitting next to me is the wild wonder Wink. And she is a wild wonder at the minute because she's absolutely wild and I wonder what's going through her little bobblehead. She's driving me nuts with this house at the minute. Aren't you? What do you mean, why is that? Every 2 minutes, I want this done, I want that done. And that leads into today's video of set and forget. Because I haven't got any time this week because she wants loads done. If you're following the channel, you see we've recently moved. We're in the process of renovating the house. So not only are we trying to work, because this is my job, believe it or not.
No way!
Because yes, some people do trade professionally, boys and girls. They genuinely do. And I'm one of them. And I prove it every day. Trading ain't as hard as you think. It really isn't. You know, it's about common sense and planning. And she doesn't have any of it. You've got no common sense. I mean, most of the time I wouldn't trust her to cross the road on her own.
I don't know where you get your delusions, laser brain.
And when it comes to planning, her version of planning is me a dig in the ribs, do as you're told or I'll kill you. Is that about right?
No.
Yes, it is. Or you threaten me with other things.
No, I don't.
Yeah, you do. You withhold other things.
And I do a lot myself.
Splendid girl, and so helpful. Do you know she's been showing me how to stick the pole up?
I did all
Sorry?
I did all the sanding yesterday.
Well,
Your mind was on a different track.
yeah, I was thinking of you rubbing someone else, but that's something altogether. But there you go. I was quite shocked for a moment there, boys and girls. I was almost disgusted.
Oh, that's disgusting.
No, I don't think you
Right, what are we doing? Hold on, I'm having a moment.
Hello.
Oh, it's great being old because you can do that. See, when you're young and you're sort of these sort of like snowflakey people, they go, oh no, I'm offended. At our age, we just think it's funny, you know, because we grew up on proper programs like Benny Hill and Are You Being Served and Ain't Half Hot Mum. Not your namby-pamby shite, that's about as funny as a heart attack. Anyway.
How does that gobshite get on the television?
Say. Let's jump on the chart. I'll show you what I'm up to. I've already give the guys a good heads up of what I'm doing. They know. And there's a full breakdown videos in here as well. What I try to do for the squad is I always tell them what I'm doing first. And I think that is the fairest way. Because inside everything I do, there has to be what I call accountability. Now, accountability is I'll tell them what I'm doing before I'm doing it, but I'll also give them the reasons why I'm doing it as well. Case in point, let me show you. This is the chart that we're about to look at. I'm about ready to go to market. I'm just going to put pending orders in, but they know where the orders are going to be, why they're there, and, well, hopefully understand the idea behind this chart. We can see it's coming in for a sell now. Now, if you bear with me, I'm going to drop it into a 5-minute chart. I'm going to lay up the orders. We're going to work in this area. So, let me just switch these on, because what we're going to do is place multiple orders with multiple targets. Now, this is a strange way of doing things. Now, we're going to start it above here. If it runs away, fine. I'm not overly bothered, you know. But we're going to start it with 15 pip target there. We're also going to put an order under here. Okay. Now these targets are relatively small in relation to what's going on. This is what's called sandwiching. I'm mainly interested in this area here. Okay. So there. 20. Put another one in. 25. And then put another one in. There. All right. To be honest, I'm not really bothered about that one. Right. What we're doing is we put a series of £1 orders in here. 1, 2, 3, 4, 5. So there. I'll just drop that in. Correct. There we go. All right. So what's this lot represent? Well, that's a £5 position, but it's broken up, and it's kind of to show Ludwig how to do this. So it's a little salute to you, because I was telling him about this the other day. The idea is it's going to pick up each one of these targets from the same entry point. In other words, I don't want to sit and manage and carve. I want it to do it itself. So that's how you do it. You put a series of orders in, all with different targets running down. Now, if that runs through that, I might want some more orders up here. Okay, so that's fine. Well, that's the sandwich order picked in. Why is that? Because what if it doesn't go there and it just picks up and keeps on running? Well, that's fine. It'll just pay me a little bit of money. Result. So we'll let that get on with it. All right, so we're now going to put some more orders up here. Let me do that. I need to measure this out. Give us a second. So we're going up to there, down to there. So the next section is just in. That's it. It's just before there. All right, so we're going to do the same thing. Right. Except these orders up here are going to come to these targets here. Right. So put that there. Drag that down onto there. Boom. Right. Just drop these in a second, guys. So. There we go. That's it. So we've got a series of orders here. Let me put an extra one in. There we are. Right. So what's this representing? Right, we've got two orders there. So that's a position, all broken up, all with separate targets running in to get down into this green area. Result. Nothing wrong with that. But why is it a trade in the first place? Well, look at the dailies. The daily's been screaming up. And if we look at it, it's come to this cluster point here. In other words, it's tried to push up, but we've got a huge barrier in its way. Fine. But this, when you look at it, is surging vastly. right? Really quickly, too quickly. So in that case, there's a high probability of a snap. If we look, there it is. It's come up. It's finding the level. There's the snap. It's this bit here. All right. So an overextended move will retrace on itself. It often does. Look at the hourly so we can see what's going on. And sure enough, there we are. Push, push, push. It is sustained. But look where it's stalling. It's stalling here. And if we run across, it's the exact same stall point where it's been before. So highly possible this will drop back down. Even on the short term, well, we've got key level here. We've got a key level there. It'll oscillate between there before it breaks through. In other words, it's going to be looking to take profit. And then you've got people caught on the opposite side of the trade. They'll be looking to get out as well, which will force this down to in and around this area here. Why this area? Well, look, that's where it stalled last time. Why did it stall there last time? Look to the left, you can see the cluster here and here. So if it's stalling up here and it's pushing backwards, it'll look for the next stall point. Well, that's the next stall point. Run it to where the targets are. Sure enough, that's where my targets are. Boom, 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 boom. Job done. Take it to 15 minute. You can see it clearly. And then I've got it marked out so I can see where those cluster points are. This is the area of attraction. In other words, green, I want to be paid. Target, 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 right the way through the zone. Let it get on with it. Let it do its thing. Now, I'll periodically check this throughout the day. It's the only trade I'm putting on. It is Monday, so I'm being reasonably conservative. And I'll just let it get on with it. Simple stuff, guys. So, there we go. That's the premise of the trade. This is set and forget. It'll self-manage. I don't need to do anything with it. I do have a meeting at 10:30, so I'll leave the camera running, but if I switch it off, don't worry. I'll come back and check it later on the afternoon. And then I'll also come back and give you a little bit of advice about trading as well. Catch you soon. Okay guys, hope you're well. This set forgets in motion. The sandwich came in, it was on a runner, came back, stopped out £1.40. So amazing, I'll retire on that. But that's not the basis of the trade. The basis of the trade is actually just for it to be self-managed. And that's the point. The stops are in place when it gets to a certain level. When I check, I'll drop them into trailing stops, just so it might get some extra. As we can see, it's gone up into the zone that I predicted, and it's dropping down. And the idea is to rack and stack these. We don't know how far a market will push. We genuinely don't. And I was asked at the weekend about X marks the spot. Trust me, guys, mechanical systems are just fucking shite. Absolute waste of time. Because let's be honest, if they worked, we'll all be millionaires. All of us. And if it's worth making somebody $1 million, do you really think I'm going to sell it for 50 quid? So think about it. You know, what you got to be able to do with a chart is understand the conditions, what the market is trying to achieve. You know, and you'll see this. I mean, I know they call it smart money concepts and things like that. It really is, to a degree, because what you're trying to do is pick out where a market's going to push to, stall, and then carry on. Now, if it's going to retrace, well, isn't it common sense to just be prudent and sort of just take a reasonable profit rather than swing at the fences when you're going against the bigger trend? But if you are going with the bigger trend, put a bigger target in. It's all about common sense and reading markets. And I'll touch on that a little bit more at the end of the video. But I have to switch the camera off now. But as we can see, it's gone into the zone, it's reacting, it's retracing, and I'm quite happy. Now this is targeted down into the green area where it'll just start knocking trades in and out and make some money. If I make 50 quid or £100 today, I'm quite happy, but I'm expecting this trade to run. It might even run overnight, but I'm not worried because it's all set up. And everything I'm doing this week is going to be based on a preset set of orders, and let it get on with it. It's that simple. So it's actually perfect for working around a day job. It's still day trading. I'll just check it every 4 hours. So I'll check it again at lunch after the meet, see what it's like, make a couple of adjustments, and then I'll not look at it again till after tea. You know, 4-hour candles. Just let it get on with it and not be greedy. And it's got its protections in place, which is good. Means if I'm wrong, it'll make the decision for me, so it self-manages that. And it's got its targets in place, so it'll self-manage the profit as well. I have to do very little. The only thing I had to do was spend half an hour before I came to camera analysing the chart and making sure I knew what I was doing and I was comfortable with what I was doing. And that's the big thing, comfort. So let me see you when I come back.
Well, we're waiting.
Okay, boys and girls, we back. Had a good meeting with Stuart earlier on, so a salute to you. And I do genuinely hope it helps. This is fired up and it's pretty much done. Let me show you. Let me put it onto the bigger screen so we can see. Now, earlier this morning, as I showed you, I told the squad exactly what I was doing, gave it the area of interest where I thought the market was going to push to, staged into it, staggered target, so it's self-managed, let it get on with it. Well, just come back from ScrewFix, seems to be my second home at the minute, because slave driver says I have to. And why? Because it gives me time to do things in the house, and that's what I'm going to do now. I'm going to prepare a floor to get tiled. I've done most of it. I'm going to finish it off.
You ding-dong!
But how's the charts done? No, let's have a look. We've got this one here. It does have a target pointer there, which we'll just drag it down to there. It's on a trailing stop. In other words, it'll just kind of self-manage. It's on a trailing stop. Oh, this one isn't on a trailing stop. So we'll drop this one on a trailing stop where wanted to move 15 pips and then step every 10. Okay, so what that'll do, should have done that earlier, but it's one of them things. Every time it moves 25 pips, it'll step down. It's for 15 plus 10. It'll move another 15, then wait for it to go 10 and step 10. That's the way it works very well. Till it gets to here, because that's a probable stall point. But let's have a look. So that's all that's running. There's no tickets left. And that's what it's done by self-managing on small positions. Just a pound, broken up. And all these 10 quids, 20 quids, etc. They all add up. And they give me 243 quid. So that's my wages. And I manage this. Well, I didn't manage it. It did it itself. And that's the beauty of trading. You know, the job of trading is planning. It's all in the filtering. It's all in the planning and understanding what it is. And then patience. That's it. I don't need to be in the market. I don't need to be glued to the screen. So I set this up about 7:30, 7:45 this morning. Showed you guys what I was going to be doing with it. And then just let it get on with it. And it would have either have won or it would have lost. If it lost, my account was protected because all of my areas of interest to get out were in place. And that is where the money's made. You know, you want to see that? Come down into the Scruffy Squad, you'll definitely see it. Because it's how madness works. Okay? And the strategy side of it, which you think is where the money's made, it's not. It's made in the execution of management. So filter it to a market. In this case, it was Aussie JPY. Why? Because it was the strongest versus the weakest. Filter the direction into a single direction. In this case, short. Map the chart out. Solid support and resistance that we know are testable. Checkpoint. Then just map it out. And you map it out to a loss or a win. And if you put everything in your favour, you're going to win more than you lose. That's simple. And that's how you make money. And now I've been paid. Don't have to trade anymore. Won't go back to market. Do it again tomorrow. And I'll set these up all week like this. Simple. So there you go. So if you're stuck, very easy found. Drop down in the comments. You'll find all of my contact details. And if you want to see how I trade, do check the Scruffy Squad out. It's a great bunch of guys. And we're all on a single path to a single journey. So as always, guys, trade well. Keep your risk managed. But above all, do what you love. And the money will follow. See you all in the next one.